Hi, this is Nicole Austin with the Sean Petit Creative Team, and I'm here with another Quick Tip Tuesday video. In today's video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite techniques, which is using tissue paper as collage. So if you go to the dollar section of any craft store or Target or other places like that, a lot of times you can find these little packs of tissue paper or facial tissue, like little printed tissues, and a lot of times they will have patterns on them. They're seasonal. This one is a Halloween pattern, but it has these little tiny stars, which I think can be used any time of the year. So I'm always looking for unique patterns that can be used in any season, and these little stars just look perfect. So you peel off this bottom layer, and actually you can still use this. This kind of plain tissue is really great for stamping images onto and then embedding them into your artwork. So I'll show you how to do that. And then this one has one more layer. They usually have 3 layers. So now you have this tissue layer. It's pretty thin. I've used a little bit of the tissue and blended it in with the face and just put it in the bridge of the nose. And what's really great about the tissue is that it really helps set some of the layers back. So when you put this tissue on top, it's a little bit see-through, like you can see in this journal page. It's a little bit see-through to the layers underneath, so it's just a really nice way to kind of push back some layers underneath and then add a little bit of just pattern or something different to your background. So I'll go ahead and start a journal page, and then I'll show you how I kind of collage with this. Tear off a piece and then just onto a surface, not your work surface, but maybe I usually use the back of my journal or another journal. And then turn your tissue over and just very carefully, like kind of hold it, and then just run your glue stick over the back. Kind of start, what I like to do is start in the middle and then kind of go up, and then start in the middle again and go back down. It might stick a little bit to your surface, but that's okay. It's okay if it rips a little bit, because actually it sort of adds to the texture. And you go ahead and add it anywhere you'd like to kind of push the craziness back a little bit. And it blends right in. It just looks like, it almost looks like you've painted white, let it dry, and then stamped little tiny stars on top. And of course, we all know you can't get perfect stamps or stencils, especially with such fine detail. So this is a great way, especially if you find a really detailed pattern on your tissue or napkin. And then the leftover piece, go ahead and find another spot for it. And then just kind of press it out. If you just press it down, you'll get most of the little wrinkles out, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of wrinkly texture, but I like that. It will mostly lay flat, but that's all you gotta do. So go ahead and add it all over. And if you want to blend your tissue in a little bit, you know, you can just take a little bit of paint and kind of with your finger just tap around it. I don't recommend writing or drawing over it, just because the paper does tend to tear a little bit. If you do want to write or draw over it, make sure you coat the whole page with some kind of like a Mod Podge or matte medium, and then that will allow you to write over it. So you got your tissue, and you want to grab a couple of your favorite stamps. I really like this background script stamp. I also love to use just different textured stamps. These are clear stamps by Aha Arts. I like these for backgrounds. I also have one by Studio L2E, and then with these I like to use little acrylic blocks, so it's just easier to get a better impression. And then you'll also want some ink. I really like these Hero Arts little neon inks, and it's so great. They're just so tiny and they fit right in my travel bag. You can also use black ink. I like the VersaFine ink pad. So the first thing you want to do is just stamp anywhere onto your tissue paper. Okay, so now we have our stamped tissue, the plain part of the napkin, and we're just going to rip into it and start seeing what happens if we add it into our collage. It's a really great way to get these lighter inks to show up, because if you were to stamp on top of a really busy background with this neon blue ink, you wouldn't be able to see it. And then here we've got our stamped X's here, and they just look really, really clear and crisp. Just to show you the contrast, so this is using the tissue paper, so stamping on the tissue paper first and putting it down, and this is stamping straight onto the background. So see how much clearer and crisper of an image you get once you stamp it on the tissue and then collage it on, versus just stamping straight on.